Hello guys, welcome back to Mornings with Granny. I hope you're having a good day. And yes, it's still Saturday and I did make one earlier. I decided I wanted to make some vegetable beef soup with that little piece of beef that I had bought for 58 cents. So I'm going to bring you along, show you what I'm putting in mine. Now you can change it according to your taste. Doesn't matter what brand. You know I'm going to say that. The recipe actually calls for a pound of meat, but I never do put a pound in. I usually put about a half a pound. I took that little piece of beef and just diced it up real small. You can do it whatever size you want, doesn't matter. But let me turn you down here where you can see. And let's see if we can get this where, let's see, maybe that's better. All right, let me get my tea out of the way. All right, you're gonna need the beef. I've got about 1/4 of a cup of diced onion, any kind, doesn't matter. About 2 carrots diced. You can use more, you can use less. I have about 1/4 cup of mushrooms diced. These are button mushrooms. You can use any kind you want. You can leave them out if you want to. I'm going to be adding some garlic. You can use fresh, you can use minced, you can use dried, doesn't matter. I've got some beef broth I had in the freezer, so I'm going to be using 1 quart of beef broth. Or you could use, let me see where I put it. You can use that if you want to. You can use your home canned if you have it. I like to put about 1 teaspoon of tomato paste in. Seems like it gives it a little bit better flavor. And of course our salt and our pepper. And I put a little bit of soy sauce. You don't have to. And then at the end, we're going to add some barley. Now this is the quick cooking barley. And in here, let's see if I can get you a little bit closer where you can see a little bit better. And you know how soup is. You put some stuff in, let it simmer, you taste it. See how it is. I've got about 2 teaspoons of olive oil. You can use coconut oil, you can use vegetable oil, it does not matter. You want a bowl to put your meat in when we get through cooking it here. So I'm going to put this on medium, and then I'm going to put the meat in. This is a very easy soup. Like I said, you can do it however you want to do it. It's your soup, you flavor it the way you want to. I'm just showing you the basic idea. Want to get your pan fairly hot because you don't want this beef sticking. And don't put too much meat in a pan at one time. When you overcrowd, what happens is it makes it steam instead of brown, and then it just, to me, doesn't taste that good then. Alright. That's the problem a lot of people have when they're cooking, is they'll put too much meat in the pan. You just want enough to barely cover the bottom. You don't want it covered all the way because then it'll be crowded. In other words, you want some space in between the little pieces. I've been making this soup for a long time. My ex-husband loves Campbell's vegetable and beef soup. So I found this recipe, and honestly I don't remember what magazine it came out of, but I found it and it sounded good, so I tried it and I adjusted it a little bit, and I like it. Just want to get this lightly browned. I'm turning my burner up a little bit because you don't want it too low either, because again that causes the meat to steam. I really need to have my fan on, but if I cut it on, you're not going to be able to hear me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on pause, and then I'll come back. Alright, the meat has been in the pan for about 3 or 4 minutes. And see how it looks. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon of tomato paste. That's really all you need, and just stir it around. Sorry for the noise. Once I get this stirred around, I'm going to take this out of the pan. I'm going to Put my burner back down. Alright. So I just kind of toss that tomato paste around with the beef. Okay. Let me wipe this pan off. I don't want any grease. Alright. I'm going to put about another teaspoon of oil in. Well, maybe. Having trouble getting the bottle open. What the problem is. There it goes. It didn't want to open. So put about another teaspoon in. And now you're going to add your onion. Like I said, that's about a fourth of a cup. Now once I taste it, if I decide I need more, I can add more. I'll add my carrots. And I'm going to add the mushrooms. And we're going to cook this for just a couple of minutes. I think I need just a little bit more oil in there. So just a little bit more. This would be good with some hard, crusty bread. I don't really like crackers with my soup that much. Okay, can you see how it looks? Give it a couple more minutes. I don't think we need any more tomato paste. Now I'll take this and you can either dollop it by the spoonfuls on some wax paper on a pan. Well, take a pan, put some wax paper on it, dollop it on there, and let it freeze, and then drop it down in a Ziploc bag. Or I just put it in a little container, plastic container, and stick it in the freezer. It's up to you. Alrighty. Okay, now we're going to add beef broth. Like I said, this is about a quart. Still frozen a little bit. It's been in the freezer. I just decided at the last minute that I wanted some soup. It's a cool day, so. And I've been telling you guys I make this and I never had, so I thought that was a good time. And you can make this soup thick. Whoops, I dropped my towel. Or I like a thin soup, as I have told you, so I like mine thinner. But we're going to let this start melting down. And I'm going to add some garlic, probably about a half a teaspoon to start with. You don't want too much in there. You don't want it to overpower. I'm going to add some pepper. And I'm not going to add too much salt. I'm just going to add a little bit to start with because you know how it is. That broth was some I got from the grocery store, and it's got salt in it. I'm going to add this meat back in. I need somebody to come wash dishes now. And what we're going to do is we're just going to leave this to where it starts to boil. Turn it up there where it boil. And once it starts boiling, I'm going to cut it down and let it simmer about 30 minutes, and then I'll come back and we're going to add the barley. Alright guys, the beef broth has pretty much melted, and I forgot to add the soy sauce, so I'm just going to add about a teaspoon. You can put it in, you can not put it in. It's just the original recipe had it, so I just always added it. And that's one reason too I don't put a lot of salt in. Okay, we're going to let this simmer for a little bit and then I'll bring you back. Alright guys, this has been simmering for about 20-30 minutes. So I am going to add my quick cooking barley. Now I rinse mine because I've always been told to rinse it. Let me know if you rinse yours. We put 1/3 of a cup in because we don't like a strong barley taste. You can actually add more if you want to. So I'm going to let this cook for about 10 minutes and then it'll be ready. All I have to do is adjust the seasoning. I tasted it. The salt's okay to me. I might add, I think I'm going to add a little bit more pepper. I don't like real salty food. When it finishes, I'm going to sprinkle some parsley. You can use fresh parsley. You cannot use any. That's up to you. Alright, let's let that cook for about 10 minutes and then I'll come back. Alright guys, my soup is done. The seasoning seemed to be okay to me. Like I said, you can do it the way you want to do it. It's your soup. You want more mushrooms? Put more mushrooms. Want more garlic? Put more garlic. Doesn't matter. You want more barley? Put more barley in there. Let me show you what it looks like. This would be good with a big old slice of crusty bread. That's one way you can turn a small amount of meat. Let's see. Let me get this where you can see it. Small amount of meat into probably about 5 or 6 servings. Let me get you raised back up here. For me, it's going to make about 6 servings. Just depends on how much you eat. And this is one of those soups that actually is like chili. Tastes better the next day. It's hot. It is pretty though, see? Well, there you go. Let's see. Like I said, you can add more carrots, more onions, whatever you want. To me, that's just right. Alright guys, I'm going to sit down, eat my bowl of soup. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and tell me if you rinse your barley or not. Like I said, I've always been taught to rinse it because it made it cleaner, just like I do with rice. Well, the reason I rinse rice too is to get some of the starch off. Let me know about your barley, if you cook with barley. Alright guys, that's it for today. I'm going to sit down, enjoy my supper, and let Gizmo stare at me. Bye-bye for now.